Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us as usual. Here is the Equilibrium team. We are super excited about the recent events, the recent win with the parachain loan at Polkadot. So this is super significant event on the course of our roadmap, and definitely we've been building like for a long period of time, for 2 years almost, to achieve these results to get the slots on Polkadot. We are super excited about that. We'll be highlighting some aspects of our win, and we'll be telling you about the further plans. This is the major purpose for today's call, to share with you guys how we'll proceed with further roadmap, further developments, further deployments on our parachain, how exactly we're gonna launch it. Today we'll have special guests who will also join with us our excitement, and will share their perspective on parachain auctions. Specifically, we'll have with us today the representative of the KuCoin exchange, our kind of partners. We've been working together for quite a long period of time, and there will be Rufina. She will join us today, share her perspective on the parachain auctions. She's leading the Polkadot auction section on the KuCoin exchange. Also, our friend Kostas from Monday Capital will also join us today, and these guys also supported our crowd loan, and definitely would love to hear their perspective, their thoughts on the overall landscape of the parachain auctions in the .sum ecosystem. Let me introduce myself just real quick. I'm Alex, the CEO and the founder with the Equilibrum team. Happy to have you guys with us today. Let me hand over to Pierre, who will introduce himself as well.
Hi guys, nice to have you here. Yeah, I fully support Alex with his congratulations. It was a big, long road for us. We finally made it. Super excited to share our further plans. And my name is Peter. I am the technical team manager with Equilibrium team.
Amazing, thanks, Pierre. So as usual, we have prepared some slides for you guys. Let me share my screen, and we'll show some slides first, walk you through the agenda of today's call, and after that we'll be actually inviting our guests here on the screen. Just hold on a second. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. Doesn't show up. Just hold on a second. Meanwhile, we kind of see quite a lot of people joining us today from the side of our community. This is really exciting to have you guys with us. Peter, I cannot share the screen from my side for some reason. Can you probably share the presentation then?
Oh, sure. Let me try. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Can you see
Can
it?
you? Yeah. Can you put it in full screen mode? Amazing. Okay, cool. So firstly, the agenda for today's call. First of all, we wanted to share with you some numbers in terms of the overall activity in the around our parachain slot auction and the crowdloan campaign. During this campaign, we have eventually got the slots. Again, this is a very big event on the course of our roadmap. We are very much excited about that. We think that it's actually brings a lot of responsibility to the project. So we wanted also just to remind you what exactly Equilibrium is, just real quick overview, like which advantages the platform brings into the system, into the ecosystem. we like maybe the most important angle for today's community call is to share with you guys our launch roadmap. You will learn a little bit more about the particular timelines for the launch and particular events which we'll see on the course of the launch roadmap. Then we'll describe you in a little bit more detail the market making tools that we just recently rolled out and currently testing on Genshiro. So then we'll be sharing some details on liquidity farming program on Equilibrum, and then there will be some updates on the Genshiro side as well, specifically the PSM tokens that are currently available on Genshiro for depositing, Liquidity Bootstrap events on Genshiro, which is currently ongoing. We will share some details on DEX launch preparations, and Peter will cover the development updates as usual. So firstly, let us share some numbers in terms of our crowdloan campaign. Peter, if you don't mind, please scroll to the next slides. So the campaign was pretty intensive, and as you know, we have been participating in the second batch of the auctions. There was literally the neck-to-neck race between us and our contender. The closest contender was the Nodal project. We actually managed to collect over almost 3 million dots during that campaign. But actually, the luck was not on our side, and unfortunately, we didn't secure the slots in that batch of auctions. However, we actually saw quite strong support from the side of our community, who actually decided to leave their dots with us with our crowdloan campaign, and we actually figured this out through the sort of referendum that we have conducted among our community members. And eventually, we applied for the sort of this short batch of 2 auctions that are currently ongoing, and we have got the slots during the first auction of this short batch. So during this short batch, we have collected overall 625,000 dots roughly. We have seen participation from the side of over 4,300 contributors, and the average bonus on the sort of basis rewards of 200 EQ tokens per 1 dot was 120%, which comes to roughly speaking 340 EQ tokens at average per 1 dot that contributors to our crowdloan will get in return. So we have seen quite substantial support from the side of our partners. We are super grateful to them for this support. Specifically, the most active participation was from the side of members of Parallels community. They have contributed almost 50,000 dots. The second line in this sort of classification goes to Kraken. They have contributed almost 20,000 dots, and also KuCoin. The KuCoin community was also quite active. We have actually conducted some sort of special flash bonus events back in the days, and I think that this is kind of the results of our engagement with the KuCoin community, so almost 3,000 dots coming from their side. And if we see the breakdown of XDOT contributions, this is the majority of overall dot contributed to the crowdloan campaign. So we have collected almost 500,000 dot from XDOT through XDOT mechanics. So basically, over 400 dots were collected from those who decided to keep their dots in our crowdloan campaign. We're super thankful to our community who decided to do that, because without your decision, without your support, this win would not be possible. And also there were newcomers. We also very thankful to these guys who decided to support our crowdloan campaign. They have put almost 65,000 1,000 dots into this crowd loan campaign. So overall, these numbers actually is the evidence of support from the side of mostly retail investors, and that's really helpful. And this is really amazing to see so many active community members who are actually supporting the projects and believe in innovations that we are bringing in the space, and the helpfulness sort of, and the overall kind of sustainability of the concepts that we're bringing into the ecosystem. So thanks very much. Here, let us go to the next slide. So here I actually wanted to share some insights on what is Equilibrum, just to remind you guys. So probably we have here some guys who actually not that much aware of what exactly we are building. And actually, just to give you a heads up, so we're building the super app for DeFi, which you may think of as a decentralized prime brokerage sort of tool set, which includes the money markets with the lowest collateralization requirements ever. And as you know, the minimum collateralization in our money market is as low as 105%. And the second part of the platform is the second component, the most important ones. Maybe it's the fully on-chain decentralized exchange with the margin trading, obviously, which allows for high leverage up to 20x. So the platform has certain system advantages, which actually makes the system really unique, and most of this functionality has never been implemented before in DeFi. Specifically, we have the risk-based pricing on the table, which means that actually the system accounts for risk in the system overall, and so the risk within the particular user portfolio. And actually, borrowers can affect the loan costs by setting either higher collateralization for their loans or actually providing less volatile collateral, which means that actually they can affect the interest rate they pay on their loans. And this is super unique compared to other systems where actually interest rates don't depend on particular actions of particular borrowers. Another important feature of the system is portfolio margining. And actually, that means that loans are backed by true collateral baskets. And so this is super helpful for borrowers, actually, because they also can manage their risks in terms of their loans in more efficient way by combining different assets in their portfolio, the portfolio of collateral assets. And maybe the third and also very important innovation that we're bringing in the space, it's the bailout functionality. And actually, this mechanism is opposed to auctioning when it comes to borrower's default. So, which means that the system is not performing any kind of auctioning when it's liquidating the collateral, which is coming from sort of defaulted borrowers. And actually, there are insurers who are taking over debt obligations from them, and actually this collateral is handed over to them as well. And actually, this means that the system becomes more balanced and more resilient in face of different extraordinary market events, and super sort of robust compared to other DeFi protocols. Let's move on to the next slide. And here we actually wanted to present to you guys the launch roadmap for Equilibrum. So here you can see that we have like 6 phases ahead of us. So currently we are at the phase 0, which is supposed to be accomplished in March, which means that we have actually won the parachain slots. And right now we are undergoing the process of parachain onboarding. And actually, as you can see, we're already producing blocks with our parachain. And we're making transition to the phase 1, which is very important in terms of further project deployment. And this phase, which will last during April, will be very much focused on cybersecurity audit, on collateral onboarding, and then we will actually do the EQ distribution to everyone who actually participated in the crowd loan, in earlier stage investments, events, and like to all our users. So in May, we will approach the bootstrap phase, which means that we will enable EQ transfers on our parachain, and we'll be conducting the Liquidity Bootstrap events, which means that all the pools in the system will be open for deposits. We will be actually collecting funds, which will be used both for market making and for lending in the system and securing loans. And we'll be onboarding the large scale liquidity providers as well. So this is May. For June, we have planned the full scale production launch. We'll be onboarding our market makers for the DEX. We will launch both money markets and spot market functionality with obviously margin trading and quite high leverage. Then we will enable the .KSM bridge at some point and launch the bug bounty program simultaneously. So in June, you guys can expect that Equilibrum will go full into production. Then in the second half of the year, we will actually be expanding our functionality of our platform with the perpetual markets. We currently working on its sort of concept development, and expectedly will approach its actual development quite soon. We also will be working on XM integrations with other projects. We also will be introducing the bailout model, like the sort of improved ones, and this model will introduce scores and tranches for bailsmen and significantly simplify their user experience in the system. And you also guys can expect the EQ lockdrop release, which will be planned for end of July, beginning of August, because actually 90 days of lockup will start counting once we launch EQ transfers on the parachain, and then at the end of this 90 days period, you'll be able to get your EQ tokens back from the lockdrop event. So the phase 5, we call it democracy. It will be actually it will be at the end, like at the beginning of 2023 in Q1. At this stage, we will actually remove pseudo on the parachain, enable governance, and actually will perform the governance bootstrap. So this is the very there's quite a lot of things actually on our plate right now, and it's both on the development side and the side of business development as well. And actually, we have like this exciting 6 phases in the row, and yeah, so we'd love to have you guys with us supporting our projects as you're doing right now. So if you have any suggestions or any kind of ideas that you want to come up, please feel free to reach out to our social media networks, including Telegram channel and so on and so forth. We'd love to have further discussion. Peter, let's go to the next slide. Just say a few words about upcoming Liquidity Bootstrap events on Equilibrum. which is planned for May. So during this event, we are expecting to collect initial funds in our liquidity pools, both for market makers on the DEX and bailout pool for the money markets. And also we're expecting to bootstrap liquidity for XDOT pools for further trading. So the assets that we will be collecting actually account for DOTs, TSMs, EQ tokens, BTC, ETH, and also there will be actually dot wrappers or synthetic dots that you might acquire through participation in crowd loans, including LC dot by Akala, C dot by Parallel, X dot by Equilibrium. Like the particular numbers in terms of targets and rewards that we will introduce, we will make separate announcements expectedly next month, and we'll start preparing for this event accordingly. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it in terms of our plans for like bootstrapping Equilibrium's parachain. Let us maybe walk you through the also market making pools in greater detail. And before we go into details with regards to our achievements with Genshiro, let us invite on the screen our today's guest so that we can talk a little bit more about crowd loans and maybe talk a little bit more about the parachain auctions overall, and specifically the win of Equilibrium in the latest auction as well. Yeah, so with regards to market making pools, I should say that it's something new that we are introducing in terms of our platform. And these market making pools are designed for those liquidity providers who are expecting DeFi-like incomes on their funds, who don't want to actually do any kind of additional actions or market making, and simultaneously they potentially might want to provide liquidity onto our DEX. So this is the particular solution for these type of users, these type of liquidity providers. They actually will expect the farming incentives if they put their funds into the market making pools of Equilibrium. They also can increase these rewards by choosing specific time blocks for their funds, specifically between 3, 6, and 12 months. These terms can be changed for Equilibrium slightly. But anyways, besides farming rewards, liquidity providers will share the profits which will be generated by market makers on our exchange, and they can actually expect up to 50% of trading profits by market makers. So on the other side, these pools are designed to attract professional and reputable market makers on the platform as well. We will be offering to them is access to like free liquidity on the exchange, so they can pull out this liquidity from these market making pools and use it for placing orders in our order book DEX decentralized exchange. So in return, they actually will get zero fees both for blockchain transactions and zero fees on the maker side on the DEX, and they will get 50% of trading profits they generate on the platform. So on top of that, we'll introduce the system of trading volume rewards for active market makers. So to be eligible for getting these rewards, market maker should actually generate over 5% of overall trading volume on the platform. And in this case, this market maker will become eligible for this trading volume rewards. So all the rewards, like additional rewards, farming rewards and trading volume rewards, will be actually accrued in our native EQ tokens here. Peter, do you want to add anything with regards to market making pools here?
Well, apart from that, we have actually launched the functionality on our Genshiro site. Not really, so go ahead and try it, and we're almost prepared to launch a DEX there as well.
Yeah,
but
so
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll cover that a bit later. So let me maybe invite on the screen our guests, our today's guests, specifically Rufina from KuCoin. Kostas from Monday Capital. Okay, while guys are joining, let me guys remind you that you can actually drop your questions to the Ask Question section here on Crowdcast. We'll pick all these questions and try to address all of them. So if you have some specific questions for our today's guests, also feel free to drop them here. Okay, I see that Rufina. Hi, Kostas. How are you, man?
Hi, guys. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Always pleasure to have you with us.
Hi, Kostas.
And congrats for winning the slot.
Amazing. Yeah, thanks very much. Thanks very much. We usually, as you know, probably we are hosting these events on a monthly basis. So we're getting together our community to share some latest updates from our sides. And today's call is a really special one because, you know, I think that winning a slot on Polkadot, it's something that you do once and then you reiterate that in further like only in 2 years. So like it's kind of one event per 2 years, something like that. Hi, Rufina, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Hi.
Fine. Thanks very much for joining us today.
Hi. Yeah, I'm very glad to join this celebration call, and congratulations for your success.
Amazing. Thank you very much. This success would not be possible without your support. I know KuCoin has contributed to our crowd loan campaign quite a lot, not necessarily in terms of like overall volume of DOT that you put into the crowd loan campaign, but the overall exposure that we get thanks to your platform is really impressive.
You're very welcome. And I heard the roadmap of the DeFi product in the future. It made me very excited. I think that we will have a very large space to cooperate in the future, both on the centralized exchange like KuCoin and also our decentralized exchange like Mojito Swap and other decentralized product. Yeah, on the DeFi and on the other products, it would be very nice. And I'm looking forward to that.
Amazing. Definitely would love to discuss this in greater detail later on. Thanks again for your support. Let's actually, guys, have like very free sort of free flowed conversation about parachains, like what do you feel about like the current state of Polkadot's developments. Let it be just, you know, some spontaneous panel sort of during our community call. So let's start with maybe just short intros. Kostas, why don't you introduce yourself first?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Rufina. I come from KuCoin, and I'm in charge with the Polkadot slot auction product in KuCoin. And this time it is very nice to have Equilibrum on KuCoin and have the amazing reward and the amazing slot auction experience for all the users on KuCoin. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Amazing. Thanks very much. Kostas, do you want to take over? You're muted.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I'm Kostas. I'm a part of Monday Capital. And we are long-term supporters of the Polkadot ecosystem. And we have participated and we still participate in several crowd loans. We think that Equilibrum has an exceptional team and that could add value to the whole blockchain ecosystem. And we think that this will open up, to the creation of new cross-chain products and provide deeper liquidity to the whole blockchain market. So yeah, that's why we wanted to participate in the crowd loan and be part of what you're building. And we would like to support you, for what you're doing. And we believe in the team. Yeah.
Amazing, Kostas. Thank you very much for your kind words, and we feel your support. And yeah, so you mentioned that you guys are supporting some other projects. Like, can you maybe shed a little bit more light on this support? Like, which projects you have supported so far? Maybe highlight some numbers if you can. Like, feel free to share some details. I'm sure that our audience will be pretty interested in hearing that.
So we did Asala, and we also did Astar. We participated in both crowd loans, and we participated in Equilibrium, and then we are also planning to participate in Oak Network, which is on the next batch. So that's the ones we have done. But we are actively looking for other, crowd loans to participate because we think that the whole Polkadot ecosystem is, really interesting, and the blockchain needs interoperability and cross-chain transactions to open up and become bigger.
Yeah, that's true. And what was your criteria in terms of choosing particularly these projects to support?
Yeah, so for Astar, it's because we think that there should be a framework for developers to start developing things, through Solidity and stuff like that to the Polkadot ecosystem. And for Oak Network, for example, we think that the event-driven stuff it's really important. So you need to have streaming of events and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
And for Equilibrium, again, we think that cross-chain dexes, cross-chain asset exchanges, and stuff like that. It is really important for the market to open up, because right now blockchains are siloed. So we need the communication between them and open up new asset classes and different things to be built on blockchains.
Right. That's really true. Rufina, do you want to share maybe some thoughts on the project that participates in crowd loan campaigns? Like, we specifically, as I recall, we have rolled out a special incentivization program for your community. Maybe you also can share some details on other projects that also do something similar and incentivize your community to participate in crowd loan campaigns through your platform more actively.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. From my experience, the projects in the crowd loan which made some outstanding work. Firstly, they have a very clear mechanism of what they are, what kind of protocol they are in the blockchain world. And second, they usually have a very strong community, as Equilibrum do. Yeah, and the community members really believe in their character in the cryptocurrency world. And sometimes they don't need. Sometimes the community members are not looking forward to the new listing coin, that for the reward, but they just believe in the character they will play in the world and in the blockchain world, and that's very important. And another aspect I think is the education for the community members, because for the Polkadot crowd loan, for the cross chain issue, there's some hard part for normal users to understand. They have to learn. They have to dig deeper into this machinism, maybe some technology knowledges and other blockchain knowledges, and for that projects, I can feel that the passion of their community members to learn all these things and how it works and how it would be. And for example, I used to raise some discussions about multi-chain and cross-chain topic discussion, and a lot of such community members, they came to share their points, and some of them are really professional on such aspect, and they know what they are doing, and they know why they believe, and they support the project they believe in. This is very important. I think it's not only about the crowd loan, but it's also about the development of blockchain, the whole blockchain world, because we need to broadcast more and more knowledges and scientific opinions to normal users, to let them know that why we need to do the Polkadot crowd loan, and what would change the future by doing this. And because still a lot of common users, for example, in KuCoin, they just come to trade and to grab the profit of the token's price. They are not that much into such field or such knowledge. So by doing the crowd loan and by doing the activities and the advertisement, all these things, also the discussion on our Reddit and Twitter, will attract more and more users to learn about this thing and to really dive into the blockchain world, to feel how it would be and why it is like this, and choose and make their choice. That makes things more and more amazing, and it means more and more people, they are building our blockchain world. This is
Right.
very, very exciting
Exactly.
thing.
And
Yeah.
right, and I think that what the important aspect that you brought up, that these crowd loan things and like overall auctions on Polkadot raise the exposure of particular projects to the larger scale audience. And just out of curiosity, can you please share some particular numbers of the overall participation through KuCoin platform in crowd loans? Like how many of, like, what's the share of users of KuCoin actually participated in crowd loans out of the overall sort of ballpark number of users of your exchange?
Actually, the proportion is not very big. We got like for example, the Equilibrum, we got nearly 3,000 dots, and we got more than 10,000 users who joined this activity. But for the whole KuCoin proportion, as I said, we still have a space to improve. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So guys, just maybe one last question from my side. Actually, what's your guys' perspective on the sort of developments of the Polkadot ecosystem right now, and what's your sort of feeling of when it will really take off and we'll see like further progress on that? What do you think, Kostas?
Actually, I would say that it's going to be difficult for new users to get used to, the blockchain experience. So I think we need a new kind of experience to bring new users that don't know anything about blockchain, and they don't know what is going on with all this stuff. Investing in pools and stuff like that. I mean, we need real work in this space. I think on the infrastructure level, there is being a lot going on, and things are getting more interesting. Since 2018 that we firstly, invested in Polkadot. I think we're gonna see a lot of exciting things, but I feel that if we don't solve the problem of user experience, it's gonna be really difficult, to differentiate between different blockchains or between different ecosystems.
Right. Have you seen Talisman Wallet by chance? Have you seen a Talisman wallet by chance?
No, I haven't.
The guys are working on exactly what you just mentioned, on improvements of the user experience in Polkadot. So hopefully they will come up with some prominent decisions on that.
Hopefully, yeah, because it's really needed right now in order to go to the next step and bring the next.
Right. There are a few other projects, by the way, who are also working on this user experience improvements. Hopefully,
there are a few projects in some. I think there are some in Ethereum also. We are also seeing stuff in DAOs, to make it easier for people to participate and coordinate between themselves. I mean, all this stuff needs to, to find, we need to see more solutions like this to move forward. And I think that the winners will be those that, will have a good user experience, and people will know what they do and how they do it, from start to end.
Right.
And really easy to understand what the product does, right? Because sometimes you don't even know what the product does.
Exactly. But they always care about profits, specifically passive incomes.
Yeah, that's the thing that we need to go a step further.
Right. I totally agree. Rufina, what do you think on this matter? On the matter of when Polkadot will really take off?
I think it will. Polkadot will take it. In the multi-chain future, there have to be the transactions on both data and the assets. But that the cross-chain bridge, there's a big safety risk on the cross-chain bridge. If there would be a huge amount of assets on the cross-chain bridge, it would be very sensitive to be attacked. But for the Polkadot, the parachain, in the native Polkadot, the data and the assets, they are much more safer than on the cross-chain bridge. So I think I'm looking forward to this to this future, that the multi-chain and cross-chain transactions take place on Polkadot.
Right.
And for the DeFi product, I think as he said, the profit is the first priority for the users, and maybe in the future the DeFi product would be very easy to use. Like for users, they just need to put their assets into this protocol, and they don't need to swap. They don't need to be the liquidity provider as what we do now, to swap coins to provide the trading pair to a pool. They may just need to put the assets into the pool, and then they can check the profit fit. But how the profit come to their account, maybe through a various of ways, maybe liquidity farming, maybe the lending, the borrowing, and a lot of financial protocols to make the profit for them. But they don't need to know that. They just need
exactly. Everything should be under the hood, basically. Yeah. So that's true. As much simplified for the end user as possible. Yeah, and by the way, I totally agree on the aspect of liquidity. By far, when Polkadot will accumulate a bunch of cross-chain liquidity on bridges, it will that starting point when things will basically rapidly evolve. Thanks very much for your guys' sort of perspectives on that. In addition to that, I should admit that we will need to improve significantly the internal network composability, I believe, because for now the experience in integration between different projects on Polkadot and Kusama as well is a big problem, because we don't have standardized way of syncing up, the balances and assets between existing parachains. And actually, there's something that expected to be working out of the box through the XCM system. However, to the date, it's not the case, and every time you need to build some custom integration with other project, which is really painful and time-consuming experience. So hopefully this will be improved real soon, because this is the crucial part for the overall kind of system composability and success of the further parachains launch, and the integrity of the overall ecosystem. So yeah, and if you guys have any sort of suggestions and things to say in support of Equilibrum, we're super welcome to give you sort of last word here on today's spontaneous panel on our community call. Do you guys want to add something on top of what we just said? Kostas?
I think that Equilibrium is in the right direction. I think that the products, the loans and all that stuff that you offer, it's gonna make a real difference for cross-chain loans and stuff like that. The XDot also product is really important for unlocking liquidity. So I think that Equilibrium is in the right direction and at the right time, to gain real market traction. So we're really excited, for you guys. And yeah, that's it. I mean, we're waiting for further stuff from you. And
sure, Kostas.
And thank you again for
Yeah, go ahead.
No, and thank you again for inviting me to the call. And yeah, hopefully we'll be in another call.
Absolutely, yeah. Likewise, pleasure, Kostas. As I said, always pleasure having you with us, and definitely would love to host you on further calls as well. Rufina, do you want to say something in support of Equilibrium? Some, last word here.
Yeah, of course. And I hope that we could have another communication about the DeFi and other liquidity pool cooperation, because we are building our GameFi platform, and there would be some outstanding blockchain games on this platform, and we can have amazing cooperation on the liquidity farming, on the GameFi token economics, and other things. And it's very fascinating for me, and I hope we could have a communication on that aspect soon.
Absolutely, would love to keep this channel open and discuss further aspects of our collaboration on in different fields, including obviously the GameFi platform. And by the way, metaverse and GameFi is something that we're closely looking at these days, and hopefully at some point we'll introduce some interesting financial products in this space as well. Stay tuned to our announcements. So yeah, and to wrap up, just wanted to thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you very much. It was a real pleasure to host you during our community call and hear your kind words, your participation in this celebrated call definitely brings a lot of value to us and to our community as well. Thanks very much. So yeah, without further ado, let us move forward with some other things that we wanted to share with you guys today. Peter, can you share our presentation once again? There are a few slides that we also wanted to present to you with respect to our roadmap, like further things with liquidity farming on Equilibrum and some stuff on the Genshiro side as well. So just maybe let me share some perspective on our liquidity farming program, which will be launched as soon as our products will go live on our parachain on Polkadot. So basically the goal for us is to accelerate the activity on both money markets and DEX, encourage users to use products more actively, and actually factors that which will affect your rewards on our platform will include actually consideration of the total bailsman liquidity, the total data you generate on the platform, the market making pools liquidity that you put into market making pools, and volume of trades that you generate in our DEX. So given all these aspects, we will calculate your rewards, and you actually will get these rewards accordingly on funds that you put into the system. So we will actually publish some more detailed announcements on the launch of our liquidity farming program. Well, there will be like the breakdown of all numbers, and you can learn a little bit more about that. So obviously, almost the same liquidity farming program will be launched on Genshiro as well, with the rewards and gens, and you actually can see on this slide some numbers that are relevant to Genshiro specifically, like the specific numbers for Equilibrum will be introduced a little bit later on. Keep up with our announcements. So
actually, Alex, let me add 2 cents. There is some more information in our documentation section for Genshiro, so I urge interested users to go there and check for themselves. There's plenty of information about specifics, some models, and pretty interesting read.
Yeah. So Peter, why don't you pick this up and tell a little bit more about our Genshiro developments?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you, Alex. So one of the exciting news is that we have finally made it with the XCM and with our latest runtime upgrade, which we just had. We are able to support Kusama tokens now in Genshiro. And pretty much it's just like any other asset, and you can do all the exciting stuff within our money market and soon to be released DEX, and KSM tokens is one of the top priorities. We're going to launch in Kusama ecosystem for trading on our decentralized exchange. And of course, you can use it as a money market instrument. You can earn rewards and, well, pretty much in every aspect of our product. Of course, we're working on integration with other tokens and other projects. And just like Alex mentioned several minutes ago, it's a bit tedious process. We thought it would be much easier. And it involves not only technical integration, you gotta approach other projects, fit into their development pipeline. So it's kind of messy, but we're slow but steady. We're moving through. And the next ones we're aiming to are actually Moonriver, because this is one of the most prominent projects in the ecosystems, in both of the ecosystems. And of course, Kintsugi and Interlay, because we want to have Bitcoin in our ecosystem, which is native to Polkadot. Currently, as you may know, we have like a wrapped Bitcoin, which is bridgeable through Ethereum. Well, the more options for you guys, the better. So we're working on that. So moving further, as you may know, we've launched the Liquidity Bootstrap event on Genshiro, and it will last for 12 more days, 11 more days until 5th of April. And the very goal is to actually attract liquidity into our market making pools and into the bailsman, the insurance pool. And we have covered the mechanics of the market maker pools earlier. Alex was talking about that. So the main idea is pretty simple. People bring in liquidity, they earn passive income. Market makers, they use that liquidity to fill up the order book in assets of the interest. And as you can see, we have 5 tokens for 5 assets here. And that means 4 trading pairs, because each of the base assets, KSM, ETH, BNB, and Genshiro tokens, they will be traded against our native stablecoin called EQD. Our targets initially are 500,000 for ask side liquidity and 500,000 for bid side liquidity. And that actually means that we need to collect lots of EQD tokens. So I encourage you to go ahead and either
Seems like Peter dropped off. Peter, can you hear us? Okay, apparently Peter has dropped off for a sec. Okay, waiting for him to get back. So yeah, this is real important event on Genshiro side. Like this, the liquidity bootstrapping event is actually crucial for launching the DEX that expected to be in specifically in April, like early April. And yeah, so seems like Peter experiencing some issues with his connection. No problem. So maybe just a few last things that we wanted to share is the preparation for our DEX launch. As I mentioned, this event for bootstrapping liquidity on Genshiro is very important in this process. So we actually expected to fill in our liquidity in our market making pools. Currently, we are working on engagements with market makers, with very prominent ones. They actually can expect trading volume rewards if they will manage to generates over 5% of the overall trading volume on the DEX. And there will be also free inventory they can pull out from market making pools as well, which I think really important for them. We're currently testing the DEX API on DevNet, optimizing the sort of blockchain network to increase the throughput. Currently, we can support our up to 1,000 transactions in 6-second block. And we are also optimizing and working on our backend system, trying, basically the idea is to calculate P&Ls and keep track of orders, trades, and balances on the DEX. And we hope that this will actually will be finalized by beginning of April. So we'll be good to go for the DEX launch. Okay, so that's actually pretty much it. If Peter will manage to get back on the call, he will also share some details on the technical updates. Maybe before we will be wrapping up with today's call, because we're running out of time, let me pick some questions from the questionnaire section. We have quite a lot of them here. Okay, so here's the question. We need to know the circulation supply on the TGE. According to my own calculation, I expect a circulation supply of 420 million EQ tokens. Why don't you post this officially? 3 billion tokens were allocated to not token holders. If they get 10%, 300 million tokens will be in circulation TGE. But we want an official statement. Can you give us official statement about initial circulation supply at TGE? Yeah, amazing question. So given that our community has participated in the lockdrop events for Genshiro tokens, given the overall supply locked in this event, I should admit that the amount of the number of tokens that will be unlocked and in the actual circulation when we launch the parachain will be mounted up to like 5-6% of the overall supply. So that's something that you can expect on the markets at the very beginning, and you can actually take it as an official statement from our side. Why don't we post this officially? Like, again, consider that as an official announcement, no problem. So here's another question. Is there a block explorer on Genshiro and Equilibrum? Hilarious is asking. Firstly, thanks, Hilarious, for joining us today, and you're one of the most active community members. I've seen you a lot during our previous, like almost all previous community calls. Thank you very much for your participation. In terms of block explorers, so we already have integration with Subscan for Equilibrum. And once we launch token transfers on Equilibrum, we'll be able to track your transactions there by far. In terms of Genshiro, we're currently working on integration with block explorers, which ones we will figure out and keep you guys posted. Stay tuned. Will XAM be enabled on all the parachain slot winners, and will this enable transaction across all parachain winners, respectively Akala, Astar, Nodal, etc.? If so, when this is going to happen? So thanks, Douglas, for your question. I should say that unfortunately, at this stage, XAM is not working out of the box, so you need to do some sort of customized manual integration with all the projects, and then these XAM transactions should be enabled for particular pairs of projects on the network. Like this takes some time, so unfortunately, it will not be launched like that. So it definitely will take some time to kick off. And we're currently working with some of these integrations, and so expect to like at some point we'll integrate the majority of projects running on Polkadot. So when do we get a date for TGE and listing? So if you actually rewind or today's community call and actually look at that section when we were sharing some details of our roadmap on the launch, you will find out that we have some extensive roadmap. And actually, like in terms of this roadmap, we'll have the launch of products in May, and starting May, we'll be extensively working on all these aspects with regards to listings and stuff. So you can expect something particularly around these dates. There will be, by the way, more announcements from our side because we're currently working on some exciting partnerships, and definitely stay tuned. We'll be announcing them accordingly. Okay, so I'm complete beginner with regard to liquidity farming. Will there be instructional video information about what to do with gens on KuCoin?
Sorry guys, I got disconnected and I was talking all the time and only just right now noticed. I was like literally looking into the presentation and like, we're doing this, we're doing that.
No worries. So I think we'll skip the dev update section for today because we're running literally out of time. Now I'm walking guys through their questions and actually giving them some answers. So the guy was asking about liquidity farming and whether there will be instructional video information with what to do with gens on KuCoin. So yeah, we will be sharing some details on that on this matter as well. By the way, there will be a wiki which will be announced accordingly, where you can find all the related information. Will there be an investment stuff on the use of EQ dollar? Akala has announced a 250 million package and dozens of Polkadot projects and VCs have been involved. What's up with EQD? So we actually consider EQD as internal currency for quotation of peers on dots. We will definitely be working on more adoption of EQD. However, it's currently worked mostly for the needs of the platform itself, and actually has quite a few prominent use cases on the platform. Like specifically, you can take out some real cheap loans in EQD against the collateral of assets that you put into the platform, which can be considered as a portfolio. Then you can basically trade for EQD like mostly all the assets that are tradable on the DEX. So yeah. But anyways, like my perception of these initiatives like Akala's ones, it makes a lot of sense because it brings more liquidity, more interest in the ecosystem. That's really huge. Will people be able to use DEX and other features when Equilibrum EQ is listed? Will staking be open with minimal features like LP? Please answer this. If it's going to be like Asta, like Moonbeam, it will be great. If anyone who wants to stake the token can stake it after listing. Okay, so yeah, so there will be definitely some staking opportunities for EQ tokens, and you will be able to find them on the platform. You can stake it into the Bailsman pool. You can provide it into the market making pool. Yeah, so there will be multiple use cases. Okay, will you make any reports? CSV or any formats? It will be cool for trading and for investors. I want to have checking, analyze my trading deals and my deposit. Pierre, do you want to address this?
Sure, Alex. Thank you. Definitely. And well, as I was explaining it pretty much to my screen while I was unaware that I'm disconnected. So as I said, yeah, we're working on that on our backend because we want to store all the order trades and balances information, so we can give you, numbers like P&L, your trade history, and show you some pretty graphs, and it all will work in the UI, which will be part of our decentralized exchange. So definitely, yeah, we're working on that.
Amazing. When will it be possible again to use gens as collateral?
Well, do you want me to answer that one as well?
If you wish, you can go for that.
Yeah, I'll be a bit technical here. So pretty much we need to update the risk engine, either with discounts or some other model which takes into account the liquidity of the token. And as soon as we do that, we will definitely bring it back into the collateral. Yeah.
Right. So we consider this opportunity. And by the way, I think it will be the matter, the purpose for community voting by far.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, congratulations, team EQ. I was wondering if you'll be able to make summary of all the events from the past with the date and name where users contributed with Ethereum, DOTS, KSM, lockdrops, crowd loan, etc. As long as Timefall or a contributor to EQ, I lost track of all events where I participated, either for EQ or gens. For some of them, there was no even link to or website to check the history. And I'm sure that others in the same situation, that will be very helpful. Asking Babes. Okay, so this is something that we're currently working on right now, and there will be the dedicated interface which will help you to track all your contributions at EQ. So basically, there will be like all the events put together into one interface, like log drops, not EQ token swap, .EQ token swap, and everything. And you basically will be able to claim like tokens from any type of vesting that you might have on your address. You can see your allocation, and it will be actually combined in one place, which will be very helpful, I believe, for all the users. So yeah, that definitely will be launching before we make tokens transferable on Equilibrum, before we actually make things work. So Jordan asking, when can I see my locked EQ apart from looking into pellets on Polkadot.js, Polk.js, not too user-friendly, Yes, we know, and that's obviously related to what I just mentioned. We're currently working on very convenient, smooth interface. You can find all your allocations and basically track it, or claim tokens or whatever. When XDOT available in EQ crowd loan winners. So XDOT will be distributed in like real soon. We believe it will happen either at the end of this month or beginning of April. Personal moments. How did you feel when you heard the news the auction was successful?
Relieved. Yeah.
We were super excited. We have the internal chat for the whole team, and we were congratulating each other. So we currently kind of quite distributed across the globe, and unfortunately we cannot come together to celebrate like in person, but definitely this super exciting event. And so we'll staking or LP be live when EQ listed. Yes, it will be definitely live before EQ will get listed. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it in terms of questions. Thank you very much. That was really interesting to have all you guys here and to have this brilliant conversation with our colleagues from Monday Capital, from KuCoin. And we will come up with some very interesting announcements real soon. So keep keep track with our announcements. Keep eyes on our social media networks. And thank you very much for your kind words. We congratulate not only us but you guys as well with our win in parachain auctions. This is really exciting. Peter, do you want to add something?
Yeah, well, as I said, yeah, we felt relief already, and because it's been a long journey for us, and we have finally made it, and we're super happy to give you guys the opportunity to experience what we have built. And as we were talking already, we still have tons of stuff ahead of us. You've seen our roadmap. As Alex mentioned, we're working and analyzing all the different and all the new stuff which is in blockchain, in DeFi, and how to incorporate that, how to be better, how to work with parity better, how to work with other projects better. So all for you, all for the ecosystem. So yeah, that's it. I'm really happy. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys. See you soon on our next community calls, and bye-bye.
Yep. Bye-bye, guys.
Take care.